The wind was bitter that Christmas Eve, swirling snow across the small town of Brooksville. Inside a worn-down diner at the corner of Main Street, Emma Parker, a single mother of two, counted the few crumpled dollars in her wallet. She sighed. "It's barely enough for bread and milk," she whispered. The holiday lights outside glimmered, but they only reminded her how hard this Christmas would be. As she stepped out, a faint voice called from the alley beside the diner. "Ma'am, please, spare something for food." It was a man in his 50s, sitting against a wall, his hands trembling from the cold. His coat was torn, and his eyes, though tired, still held a trace of dignity. Emma froze. She had passed homeless people before, but tonight something tugged at her heart. She thought of her church's sermon last Sunday, "Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord." Still, she hesitated. She barely had enough for her kids. But something within her whispered, "Trust in him." Without another thought, she handed the man her last $5. "Buy yourself something warm," she said softly. He looked at her with tears in his eyes. "Thank you. I used to believe people stopped caring. You just proved me wrong." Emma smiled, though her stomach twisted with worry about tomorrow's breakfast. That night, as she tucked her children into bed, she prayed quietly, "Lord, I gave what I had. Please take care of us." The next morning, Christmas Day, she was awakened by a knock at the door. Outside stood her neighbor, Mr. Thompson, holding two large boxes filled with food, toys, and clothes. "Emma," he said, smiling, "our church ran a charity drive last week, and someone anonymously nominated you. We wanted to make sure your family had a real Christmas." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. I don't know what to say. Just thank God," he replied gently. "He sees everything you do for others." Later that afternoon, as Emma and her children shared a warm meal, she glanced out the window, and there, across the street, she saw the same homeless man. He wasn't alone this time. He was helping distribute blankets to others in need, smiling as he worked alongside church volunteers. Emma's heart swelled. That small act of charity had created a ripple, a single moment of compassion had multiplied into many. She whispered to herself, "Charity isn't about how much you give. It's about how much love you put into giving." As the church bells rang in the distance, Emma felt peace for the first time in months. She finally understood what her faith had been teaching all along: when you give with a pure heart, God gives back in ways you could never imagine. Sparkle's moral message: true charity is not measured by wealth, but by willingness. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, echoes God's love through the lives it touches.